This will be a video on the newest patch, and there is nothing much to really talk about unless I really get into the details. Two new heroes that came out and some very great feature that has been added to the game that I genuinely like, and a lot of people might actually not. But let's hear me out on why I think this is actually good. So let's address the elephant in the room. It's very easy. Now with the TM gear, we had so much RNG coming out. That means that this 35% attack or all of these things are absolutely hellishly RNG, but they made something that made it very likely to get yourself the items that you really want. So once you go to the Valence shop and you click something along the lines of this, then this was about the maximum that you can get, but now you can click any additional skill. But as you can see, instead of a normal 8,000 that you would hope to get, it actually costs a lot. This means in terms of farming, it obviously takes up a lot of resources to just get this. But in all fairness, how long did it take people to get their full Manticore sets, right? And you don't have to do this, so you can still get lucky, get your first 3 pieces and get the last item that you purely want, or do it with the last 2 pieces that you want and actually have one that you might still want to work on. So there's many strategies on how you can abuse the system. The only downside about the Techno Magic experiment report is you only get 10 a week, which means basically you can make an item piece every month, right? And this seems very odd because it will then take you 4 months to get yourself a full set, which does seem like a lot. And it's like, oh my god, this is catered to free to play, blah 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 blah. Great. Think about it once again. As a newer player, getting yourself a Manticore set seems way worse than what this is. So this is absolutely great. In my opinion, it just takes time and it gives you a light at the end of the tunnel. You can RNG everything, but you can still think about having this feature in there. One of the downsides, once again, you also use the Technometer experiment reports for upgrading to the reclaimed set. Fedora changed to full black. Alright. But now comes the thing that is most important, and that is the new characters. There's 2 of them and you can get them through the event. What you basically do, you probably complete this whole thing, look at the story, and guess what? These are the characters that are from the anime, and best believe I didn't like the anime at first. I looked through it. Is it one of the highest qualities that I've seen before? No, but I tend to grow and love these 2 characters, so the fact that they become playable is interesting. So ladies and gentlemen, it is funny to say this, but you get these characters for free at the first cutscene. So best believe this one thing, I will be doing a speed run on the next Sunday. Make sure to tune in and let me just show you how easy it is to get through the first parts of the game as quickly as possible. We will only do the account once. I will be giving it away, but I won't be giving it away like I usually do, which is going to be in the very first day. No, I'm going to play this account a month. Doesn't mean that I'm going to play it every single day because I still have to do my internship, but I will be giving a month-old account to the people. So when you see this video, and if you do want to enter the raffle, make sure to tune into my streams and tune into my YouTube. I need a comment down below if you want to be put into this raffle as well. So please make sure to just check that one out. So these 2 characters start out at 5-star. This doesn't seem like much, but it is actually very useful for the old players, which means you can actually upgrade these things and get rubies. As for one of the hidden techs in the game, you max Purify, click it, Purify, Transcend. Don't look at the cutscene, just press the back button, and guess what? We have ourselves a T1 character. That's the way to save up a little bit of time. It's a hidden gimmick that can be used every single time. Alrighty, as for the auto attacks, is it fast, is it not? Looks pretty decent. It will stack up the S4. And I'm not still sure what it does, and it seems to have a lot of stacks that are possible. Is this capped at some point, or can you trigger this? I am still not sure. Go up! Damn it! Raise, baby! 30 stacks seem to be maximum, but at that point nothing seems to be happening. As for the S1, deals damage over 4 times magical damage, inflicts stun on a target. Additional damage that ignores defense per stack of otherworldly curse. So this is times 30. So once I pop it, does it break the stacks? Absolutely not. So that means that we got some defense ignore over here. Would that instantly be good in PvP? No, because it will take you a little bit of time to get yourself the 30 stacks. However, it will do stack damage. And always defense ignore is ridiculous. Dispels CC effects from self and moves to the farthest enemy to inflict an irremovable silver moon mark for 15 seconds. If there's an enemy with Black Moon, Ripine will attack the target inflicted with Black Moon mark and changes the mark to Full Moon. If the target is inflicted with Full Moon execution becomes activated for 10 seconds. Ripine prioritizes the target with Silver Moon mark or Full Moon mark. So you will be able to jump to people that Rihito actually targets. Or it could also be the other way around. Now, the other way around seems more interesting because then you can jump to the farthest enemy and actually get Rihit up in the back. That is what I'm thinking initially, but whether that is true, we still have to check it out. But what does the skill really look like? L Super Dash. So he has 3, attacks targets 5 times, dealing a total of damage. Last hit deals additional onto the defense. So basically, this thing has defense ignore depending on how many stacks you have. So if we pop it, yeet! Oh, that one actually looks beautiful. I like that one. As for the Transcendence perk, now that we've read them. First off, T5 Dark. At the beginning of each battle, increases damage dealt to bosses by 15%. This effect can be stacked up to 5 times. Now, this is great. So if you look at things like Eclipse, if you look at things like Ocelon, this seems really, really good. This is 75% damage to bosses, not to monsters. So that is maybe a little bit of a downside. The S4 seems to be bread and butter. Each hit reduces the target's attack speed by 30 for 10 seconds. Can stack up to 10 times. So you can get 300 attack speed reduction. Seems interesting, but I'm not sure if this is dispellable. From the looks of it, it seems dispellable because it does not say so. When there is one enemy, each hit inflicts 1 additional stack of otherworldly curse. Now this seems interesting when you're facing Eclipse bosses. Increases damage by 40%. This also increases the damage of Ignore defense. Loving that. Each hit stun inflict the target for 1 second. And this thing has 5 hits. Not bad for stun bar reduction. Increases magical damage the enemy takes. So this is one will increase the damage overall. Changes the target to the enemy with the highest attack. Oh, great. So it is a dash on the highest attacker. And probably pair with Rihito. That seems pretty interesting. Cooldown reduction by 3 seconds. And we got a last hit reduces the target's mana by 2,000. We got so much mana block bonanza in this game that it is starting to become very nasty, and characters like DLK will only become stronger. I don't know what to do, but this is also a pretty decent counter when it comes to Hilda. I wonder, however, if this is a single target skill, because if it is, it seems alright, but I'm not quite sure. It still takes up 2 mana bars, but it could definitely be interesting. 2,000 mana is not nothing. I like that. As for the unique weapon and the unique treasure, increases crit chance by 2 Hondo. Okay, that's pretty interesting because you can get 500 crit on base. I was like, there's no additional stat in the hidden gimmick, so where is it really coming from? But to look at this purely, it's not bad. And at the beginning of each battle, damage increased to enemies and damage dealt to bosses by 15%. And I'm not sure whether these two stack because enemies are bosses in itself. Right? So I'm not quite sure, but it does mean that this is good on PvP and it is irremovable, not like Lucius's unique weapon, so I kind of like it. And to see the 3D model on this thing, the weapon actually looks quite fine. I like that. So the unique treasure reduces cooldown by 6 seconds and increases damage by 40% when there is one enemy. So this definitely seems like a boss thing. But only look at a cooldown that is supposed to be 14 seconds. This is still very long in terms of Eclipse. So the S2 dispels positive effects from the target and reduces magical crit resistance by 200 for 10 seconds. Now this is pretty good when you are dashing toward an enemy that is bow shielded. or has any other buffs that you really want to get cooked. So not that bad. A magical crit resistance or lowering always seems good. So if you really want to kill the backliners, this is definitely a UT that might seem interesting. As the S1, increase the duration of the stun by 2 seconds. Magical damage the targets take for 10 seconds. Now, seems interesting, but just for a 4-second stun and a 12-second cooldown, I wouldn't necessarily go for a skill like that. As for the S4, increases attack speed by 300, and at the beginning of each battle, inflicts 8 stacks of the otherworldly curse to all enemies. Now this is interesting to a certain degree, because this is always there. 300 attack speed on base is pretty interesting. But the funny thing is, at the beginning of each battle, inflicts 20 stacks of otherworldly curse to all enemies. This means everybody. I'm not sure if you guys know what all means, but that is 20 stacks onto some BS. But if I look at this, with the full moon mark, if this skill kills an enemy, cooldown the silver moon mark and reheats blue, oh my god. So guys, what this basically means is very sickening. So if you get the UT4 and you blow up the silver moon mark and you use reheats S2 as well, you can then use the S4 on the second version, this one. And I'm assuming per every stack, which is a lot of ignore defense, you will be able to blow people up and then reset the cooldown on S2. Ooh, that is sick. I can see this thing already happening, being very, very, very broken. Oh man. So if I would start and play this character, there's several ways on how to do it, but I actually like this attack increase. The defense penetration really doesn't matter, but it is not all ignore defense. But this is what I would honestly do. Get the UT4 and just blow people up. As for Rihito, alrighty, let's check this dude out. So as for the stacks, there's also stacks things. I don't even know what it does, but already knowing that the S4 of Ripine was just as broken, I'm assuming this one will be. So what happens on the maximum stacks? S1 deals damage frontal enemies for 3 seconds on hit and knocking them down for 3 seconds. Upon hit, additional blah 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 that ignores block. Cannot recover mana for the duration. I hate mana blocks on my chase. I just do. Inflicted brand moon, black moon. Why do they come up with these long ass names for a single skill? Yo, let's just S1, see whatever happens. Yo, that is pretty interesting. S2 dispels CC effects from self and leaves irremovable black moon mark on the target for 15 seconds. There's also 3 manas, so that is a lot. If there's an enemy inflicted with silver moon mark, reheated text. The inflicted with silver moon mark, blah blah blah. If the target is inflicted with full moon mark, the full moon execution will become active. So that is the S4. Great. So what does it look like? Oh, you dash up. So I am assuming that if you combine this with Ripine and you S3 first with her, you can possibly dash up to a backside character. That seems pretty interesting, to have a warrior that can target nasty BS. That seems really great. And now here is for the rapid stinger. This is Devil May Cry. It attacks frontal 10 times. Inflicting stun for 2 seconds afterward. Final blow. Additional magic damage that ignores a block. While in use, gains CC immunity to all CC effects. Now, I don't know whether this is able to get CC plus dispelled in a single skill, because I know that Nyx has one thing that he can do with it. But it really says while it is immune to all CC effects. So there might be ways to still stun him while he's doing this. Let's check it out. If you want to deplete a stun bar, now this seems broken. Yo, I'm actually liking this skill. That one isn't half bad. Daniel Aziz already with the... Okay, this will be top ban. We're not sure about that, but I can definitely see it. Okay, so the T perks. Starting off with a 100 attack speed. Building attack speed is always good, especially for warriors. At the beginning of each battle, HP doesn't fall below 10% for 7 seconds. Okay, so we gotta build in Spirit Morphing. If HP falls down below 15%, the duration of the skill Damage dealt to all heroes reduced by 70% for 5 seconds. All effects are irremovable. It says heroes. It doesn't say monsters or bosses. So this is Spirit Morph Ring on Eclipse. Straight A. Which means that he can be a tank. Right? He can definitely be a tank, especially against bosses. The only downside with Ripine is she is frontline, so she can get hurt by some nasty stuff. But if Rihito can take up the aggro, this might be interesting. Let's check the S4. When there is one enemy, each hit inflicts an additional otherworldly curse. But here's my question. They both have the same thing. Do these Batman pajamas actually stack together? Because if that is true, that is ridiculous. When there are 3 or more enemies, each hit inflicts an additional stack of curse. Now this seems interesting, but if Ripine is already giving everybody 20 stacks, like, I don't know whether that is really good. But this could be a PvP thing where if you slash multiple enemies, Ripine will actually just have more damage because you can stack 30 up faster. Increases the duration of the stun by 1 second. I already told you guys if you want to deplete the stun bar, this might be it. This is even more broken than I thought. Gains immunity to all damage. So I thought you could actually just stun the dude. No, yeah, you can, but you can make yourself immune. The only downside is it is still 3 mana bars, but hey. S3 increases the magical damage the target takes for 30 seconds. Wait, increases magical damage the hit target takes by 30% for 10 seconds. Now this seems equally the same as Ripine has. Now the question would be, does this stack? Because that would be 60% if it does stack. Inflict stun on the hit enemy for 5 seconds. So once again, I'm thinking of this combination where Ripine dashes in and you can actually dash afterward with Rihito. Now this opens up a great way for PvP. It is just interesting. This hero is a magic Gao. Doesn't have a pull in, so I'm not quite sure. Black Moon Brand becomes irremovable. Well, that means you can actually have no more mana onto anything. Okay. Alright, we're gonna just full auto these and see whether they are able. First off, Rihito is actually doing a lot of stuff and he's nuking things down on absolutely no gear. No unique weapon, no unique treasure. However, he does have full TM gear, which is obviously quite strong. I haven't seen Ripine do anything just yet. Yay. Okay, I can tell you guys this. I have absolutely no decent gear on this. No decent unique weapons, no decent unique treasures. And this is already cooking it up. It is absolutely nasty to a certain degree. Let's check this boss out because this can all go very south if things hit the fan. Yay. Oh, Ripine just suddenly decided to blow this thing up like it was nobody's business. Now, the one thing that I wanted to check was, can Rihito jump to the back and jump after? Yeet, go to the back. Oh, Rihito actually goes up to the middle and be like, nope, you're all dead. Okay, so this is quite sick. Does this hit multiple enemies is the question. From what it looks like, I'm not quite sure actually. You go to the back and Rihito actually dashes up front. So they are pincer moving people. So having yourself a warrior that can move to the middle is sick. Kirito is badass. This is not Kirito. Oh my lordy lord, you people are mad. So one thing I really want to check, can I fully stun engage a boss with the S3 with the current setup? Because if it can, Rihito is... Oh my god! Yo! Oh, that is sick. Yo, can I just blow him up? Oh, come over here. Actually popping out the S4, yo, that is fire. Do I think they will be good in Galgoria? Like, it is defense ignore. At the end of the day, it is defense ignore. Now, just to add to content, right? because I'm not able to show any of that content that I just shown, but there's a link down in the description that you guys might want to see how broken this character is. I am way too hype. This is mad broken. Alright, let's check this out for no reason. We're just gonna auto this because the newer players might not want a manual anything. Look at Rihito actually doing mad damage and adding up to whatever Ripine is doing. I'm loving the fact that his is 4 light, allows for multiple stacking. It is so good. I love it. Actually, Rihit as a starting character is pretty nasty. Now do keep in mind, guys, that the gear that I'm using on these characters is actually pretty decent. He doesn't have a unique weapon though, he doesn't have a unique treasure. So there's still a lot of room for improvement. And I think I haven't even checked are the unique treasures for this dude. I got so caught up in the hype that I forgot about nearly anything that I was doing. Holy balls. New account when? On Sunday I'll do a speedrun, my guys. Now Fall Afraid took all of the buffs, because she is one greedy lady. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now I have a public service announcement. Because of the New Year's sale event, there are some things that you might want to consider. Now, the random soulstone ticket could pose you anything good, but having over 90 heroes in the game, the chance of you getting the thing that you need is quite low. What I would actually say to all of you new people, make sure to get this artifact ticket, and for a few reasons. You just buy this thing, and you will allow yourself to get a few artifacts that will increase your progression by any chance. Now the question would be, what would you pick? If I had to pick anything for the people, the Pumpkin Stuck Evil Spirit is one of the artifacts that I like the most, because it does give your tank HP no matter what. And when there's one enemy, you get 20% attack to all allies. Now this is very useful if you do nearly all trials, and it is just insane. The only downside, it cannot be used in all content, where academic achievement, although it has lower attack, it can be used on everything. So this is worth considering. But I'm a dumbass. I'm gonna do the treasure hunter that has Pokemon inside of. Reason why? I want to have one more Eclipse. Man, am I gonna do I have a fill bonus of this? I'm not gonna do that, hell no. I'm gonna wait. Alrighty, so as Aries is pointing out, there will be a daily ether box of 50 plus gold ethers and whatever for 2k rubies. Now that is one of the things that people should aim for as well, because if you can get your first A220 character, that is beyond repair. So it's definitely worth the 2k rubies if you do have it. But since I have an abundance of ethers, that I don't care that much myself. The TP5s could be interesting. Outside of that, I wouldn't go for anything along those lines. And that basically concludes the video, guys. I will be just adding some things into it. If you guys thought I forgot anything about it, make sure to drop something into the comments. I will be sure to respond, and I'll see you guys in the next video.